I'm Jelani.
I'm Danielle.
We're co-owners of Richie's Chicken and Soul, and today we're talking about our top 3 things we would never do again when opening a restaurant. Why are you laughing? All right, what are our top 3?
I think I got like so many.
It's top 3.
So with top 3, I would not have a manager
I have no idea what she's gonna say. She's cracking herself up.
I would not have a manager that I have to call them to wake them up.
So our number 1 thing we would never do again is sign a lease without having a lawyer look at it or having a building inspection.
Or a triple. what is
Exactly,
it?
absolute triple net.
Absolute triple net.
So, why, you ask? Great question. We were so happy to find a location. We had been looking for a location for a year, and I had just been fired from my job, and I needed something to work badly, like no one's business.
We had a 2-year-old.
We had a 2-year-old, and I had some savings. I had severance from getting fired, and I needed to make something happen now. So when this building came about, we just signed the lease. We didn't look at all the details.
We were like, oh, it used to be a KFC. Like, we're putting it in a chicken restaurant. It should be fine.
The one business was just moving out and built a new pretty building right next to her. We're like, it can't be that bad.
Even though they were built in 1970 something.
It was bad. And so we didn't have anybody read over the lease. We signed it. The only good thing that we had put in our lease was
a purchase option.
Did we have a purchase option, or did we do that later?
Nope, we had a purchase option.
We had a purchase
I had
option.
said that was the one thing that I learned from my dad. My dad always told me, whenever you sign a lease, make sure you have a purchase option in it.
So that was the only good thing. Everything else was bad. So before we even opened our store, if we rewind the clock, we thought we were going to open in March. It went to April, to May, to June. And part of that was just issues with the store. One day I walked in when it was raining. It was literally a pool of water everywhere.
Well, hold on. You forgot something.
What else did I forget?
So, yeah, it was a pool of water, but we were trying to save money. So we decided we were not going to turn on the heat. We were not going to turn the heat on because we didn't need a high bill. So we didn't turn the heat on. You walked in, and what happened?
The pipes had burst. Reason we didn't turn on the heat, because when I called Duke, us being a new business, we had to put like a
$5,000
deposit. $5,000 deposit. And they held that thing for like 3 years. I was so happy when we got that money back. It was like we got like a triple payday. But so there's a really, really large deposit just to open up our Duke account. And so I was like, it's usually not too cold in the winter. That winter in 2015 January, it was so cold. We had to a couple days under. We walked in, our pipes had burst. So then we had that expense. Then we get that fixed. We walk in one day and literally it's raining inside the building. And there's like holes on the ceiling. And we call the landlord. We're like, hey, we can't open. There's a leaky roof. And the landlord's like, what do you mean leaky roof? You signed the lease. That means it's your roof. We're like, what do you mean?
Like, we just moved in here. You said everything was fine.
This is your building. It's not our building. Why were you fixing the roof? We had to go back and forth. Eventually what happened was we basically threatened that we're a new business. Like, we didn't have any assets. We were like, we're not going to open. We're not going to pay rent until this roof is fixed. So we actually ended up negotiating that we would pay half of the roof. They would pay half, we would pay half. The unfortunate thing is, because they were paying half, they picked the cheapest roofer. The cheapest. And so the roof probably should have cost like 40 grand or something like that, at 30. I think we ended up paying 20 or something like that. And then like 10 was ours. But we didn't have the money, so we had to do those in like monthly payments on our rent, which we like paid off after like a year and a half. So that was number 1. We had to pay for a roof. And that roof still leaks to this day because it was such a crappy job, but we're waiting for renovations. Number 2, that first summer after opening, one of our 3 units on the roof went out. We called the landlord. We're like, hey, this HVAC unit went out. He's like, that's your problem. We're like, what the heck? And so we had to figure out, scrounge up $5 or $6 grand to fix the unit.
Before we got the unit fixed, I remember, you guys probably remember this, we had little
temporary units ducted
basically
to the air and the ceiling.
Everything cool in here for our team.
Yep. And then guess what happened the following year after we placed the first unit? Another unit went out. So another $6 grand.
And at the same time that unit went out, the unit in our house went out. So we're like, what do we do? Do we fix the one in our house or do we fix the one in the store? Fix the one in the store. And we just dealt with the unit being out at the house and put boxes in.
Yep. And finally, the 3rd unit went out. We replaced that one as well. So we replaced 3 units on this. We've done other upgrades. And guess what? All of these things that we put into the building, these upgrades, making it look nicer, all these things. So when we bought the building in 2022, the great benefit of doing all these upgrades and fixing it, we made the building more valuable. So now when we bought it, we literally purchased it for like 4 times what our landlord purchased the property for back in 2014 or whatever.
Yeah.
So once again, have someone read your lease and have someone inspect your building, or you are going to pay for it.
Yes.
Literally. The landlord is not on your side.
No, they're not. And make sure you get someone, don't get a Joe Schmo, get a good lawyer to read over it in details.
Someone with real estate experience.
Yes.
So number 2, the second thing we would never do again is water our weeds. What do we mean by that?
That is investing time and energy into people who
don't care.
Well, yeah, don't care. People that don't care, and people that don't want to move forward within the company, or they don't want to invest in themselves. And I would say, water the people that you see they want to invest in themselves, they want to invest in the company, they're showing up. Yeah. They're showing up on time, they're showing up for your team, they're showing up for your company, not the ones that are not showing up for other team members, or that are what I like to call skunks, where they just have a bad attitude and they come in here and try to smell up the whole building and, take everyone out. Those are weeds. You don't want to keep pouring on them.
Yeah. And what do we mean by pouring on? So you will have people that will come to work with a bad attitude, that will gossip, that will be out of uniform, that will show up late, and watering them means pulling them to the side all the time, every day. Hey, why are you doing this? What's going on? Da, 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 da. And you're constantly having these conversations with them, and they're not showing any improvement. No. They're just sucking up your attention. While the people that constantly show up on time, do their job, bust their butt, and work hard,
above and beyond,
they get 0 of your attention. And so you're basically showing your team that if I act up, I'll get more of the boss's attention than the people that do the right thing. And so what we start to realize is like, wait, we have all these rock stars over here who come in, do their job, do what they need to do, but they're not getting any of our attention. They're not getting praise, they're not getting uplifted, they're not getting that one-on-one time coaching. Yep. It's all the people who are constantly showing you that they don't care. They're getting the bulk of our time, and we will never ever do that again.
Never again.
We did that at the beginning, and what we did was we were investing time in people that didn't really care. I remember distinctly. Do you remember when we had our company meeting and we were outlining our strategy going forward?
We actually had people, like, when I really sit back and I think about this, like, we had, like I will always say, we had to go through what we went through. But when I sit back now and look at this, 10 years later, I have to laugh that I allow people to have the audacity to sit in a company meeting and laugh at us and think that it was okay, and like, oh, like they're just,
Yep. We had
Yeah.
laid out a plan to take the company forward, and we were talking to the entire company about what our plans were, our mission, our vision, our core values. And there were people in that meeting laughing at us and yelling protocol, protocol, essentially meaning making fun of us trying to put in structure and rules into the company.
Yeah.
And so we had to get to a point, we had that mindset of we were trying to water everybody, the weeds, the flowers. We didn't want to leave anybody behind. But some people, you have to focus on your flowers and cultivate them, because if you try to cultivate both, the weeds will take over. That's the natural instinct.
Yeah.
And so you have to focus on the survival of your flowers if you want a beautiful garden, if you want a beautiful company, beautiful culture, all of that stuff. So that was
And I
one
think-
thing we had to learn.
What did that one person say to you? And that sticks in your head to this day.
I remember several instances. With one, I tried to recruit this person to become a manager. And they looked at me like I was crazy. They were like, basically like, you're trying to put your bullshit on me. You have a unorganized company, doesn't run right, and you're going to try to put that stress on me. They had no interest in advancing the company, and that really hit me. It's like, well, if I don't want to do this, why would someone else want to do this? Right? I would say the number 2 thing is I would never water our weeds over our flowers anymore. There are people that want help. There may be people that are struggling, and we're there for them. We consider those
Right.
flowers. Weeds are people that are just spreading negative energy, show up late, they don't care, they don't respect your core values, they don't
They're
respect
behind
their
your
teams.
dumpster drinking and
All
falling asleep in the kitchen in the back. And yeah, like,
Yeah.
you don't want to put up with that.
And our number 3 thing that we would never do again, not have cash controls.
Yeah.
So-
Not have the systems in place.
You
Wanna
need to
make sure
have-
I mean, even if it's something so simple as to a piece of paper and you have a certain way of counting it and you're tracking it. We literally didn't have a piece of paper tracking it. It just basically
It was
you
honor
knew-
system.
You knew how much was supposed to be in the safe, and you knew how much both of your tills were supposed to be, and that's it.
You need cash controls because unfortunately you will have some untrustworthy people, or you will have some people that are generally trustworthy, but if they're put in a position where there's no cash controls, they may think about doing things that they not normally do. In our instance, we hired a manager, and because we felt like this person had way more experience than us, we deferred a lot to her.
And I will tell you, like, yeah, we deferred a lot to her, and basically they stole from us. And what I learned,
Well, but the worst part wasn't that. It was that she was intentionally blaming cashiers for her theft.
Correct.
And we didn't have the cash controls in place to identify it until later, and then we finally figured it out. And once we did, we fired her. We realized that she had stolen at least $2,000 to $3,000 without us knowing it. So that is our 3rd thing that
Yeah.
we would never ever do, is not have cash controls. So to recap, number 1, we
lease,
would never ever not have a lawyer review our lease or get an inspection.
correct?
Number 2, we wouldn't water our weeds.
Yes, we wouldn't water our weeds.
And number 3
is have a cash system in place.
Yeah, we would never not have one in place. So
Yes.
hopefully this is helpful. If you like this sort of content, make sure you like and subscribe. And if there's any other topics you wanted us to address, let us know in the comment section.
And if we have other things that we would not do again, if you like that and you want to know more, just let us know.
Thanks. That was really bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a really bad idea.